Hi everybody, it's Miss Lorenz here. This is 1.4 for 7th grade math. We're going to talk about subtracting integers, and I'm just going to walk through these introduction pages with you as like a little mini lesson to get you going on the assignment that is posted on Canvas. So this is a great question here. A library database shows the total number of books checked out at any given time as a negative number. So I'm going to pause right there, because I think it's important as we read math questions that we pause and make sense of what we're reading. So that means that a negative 37 would mean that 37 books are checked out, or 37 books are gone from the library. I like to think of it that way because of the negative. So what are the possible numbers of books that were checked out and checked in on Monday? So we know that in the morning, when they counted their books, they had 37 books checked out. And by evening, they had negative 45, or they had 45 books checked out. So notice that I put 45 to the left of negative 37 because I know that negative 45 is less than, or it's further down the negative side of the number line than negative 37. So a whole bunch of things could have happened, right? So over the course of the day, these 37 books could have been returned. And at one point in the day, we could have had no books checked out in the library. Now, that's not very likely, but that could have happened. And then over the course of the day, 45 books could have been checked out, which would have left us with a number of negative 45. So there's a whole bunch of things that could have happened. We could say, oh, well, 30 of those books got returned, right? There were 37 checked out in the morning, but 30 of them got returned. So if only 30 of them got returned, then we would be at negative 7. And then if we were at negative 7, what would have to have happened in order for us to end the day at negative 45? Well, we would have had to have 38 books checked out, right? So look what just happened here. I'm at negative 7, and then I'm subtracting 38 more. So I'm going to draw a number line here so you can see what's happening. Here's negative 7. 38 more books, boom, got checked out. So that's the number of books that left the library, and that's why I indicated that by minus 38. And we end up right here at negative 45. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the next page. Okay, and just a reminder, 7th graders, you should be doing this with me as we go through this. So now we're going to look in this first example about subtracting positive integers. And football is kind of a classic example of what we do when we subtract positive integers. A football team gains 3 yards on the first down, then they lose 8 yards on the second down, and then we have to look at their total change and see what happens. So we're going to look at this subtraction expression to represent this situation. They gained 3 yards, so that's a positive 3. We don't usually indicate a plus sign for a positive number, we just leave it alone. But then on the next play, they lost 8 yards, so we're going to indicate that by a negative 8. Notice subtracting 8, because they lost 8 yards, is the same as adding a negative. So these two things are exactly the same, subtracting 8 and adding a negative 8. And so if we are at, and I really like looking at this on a number line, if we're at positive 3, this is where they are in the field, and they subtract 8 or they lose 8, they're losing more than they have. So it takes just 3 to get to 0 and another 5 for a total of the 8 yards that they lost. So they end here at negative 5.